you everything you ever wanted. Was spending overtime for your budget. I gave you my all and you act like it's nothing. You tell me you fell out of love. That's what you said, you said. You said you fell out of love. You said like I was never enough. You said you fell out of love. You said, wow. So this is it. You're really gone for good. You doing all the things you promised me you never would. I'm done. How could I trust someone when you told me that you love me, but the next day you gone? Yeah, and it's obvious that you play with my brain. Yeah, you playing these games and you drive me insane. Yeah, I know that it's partly my fault. I couldn't give you all of me, and now it's breaking my heart. Yeah, I'm still in love, but you're with someone else. It tears me apart, now I'm all by myself. If I could go back in time to change it, I swear I would. I would change all of the bullshit you misunderstood. This shit's driving me crazy. All the time I gave you, now you're gone and it feels like you raped me. Maybe the love was never true. Maybe I didn't have a clue. It's like anything I do. If it didn't go your way, it wasn't good enough for you. I put in time for us, just trying to make a way. And still I ain't doing enough. It seems all you do is complain. I gave you everything you ever wanted. Was spending overtime for your budget. I gave you my all and you act like it's nothing. You tell me you fell out of love. That's what you said, you said. You said you fell out of love. You said like I was never enough. You said you fell out of love. You said, wow. Cut my heart in a million pieces. Damn, why you gotta be so heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You cut my heart in a million pieces. Damn, why you gotta be so heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You got me like
Good evening, what's up gamers and guardians? Welcome to episode 2 of Stasis Chat. Tonight I'm your host, BMG, and I'm here with, on my left, Anime Razza. How are you, sir? Alright tonight. Good. Get some great stuff. To underneath me is Stubz Gaming. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm really good, thanks. I've managed to sort out moving my podcasts back to hosting on Anchor of an Acast. That's all good. Shout outs to Mitchie from Anchor that helped. All three. So yeah, looking forward to tonight.
Good. Yeah, I saw you tweet out before thanking them for it. Yeah, I'm glad they managed to get everything sorted and moved over for you. That's awesome. And to my bottom left, always on the bottom, Shadow Maul. How are you the evening, sir?
Howdy. Yeah, not really much of an Afro man anymore.
No, we're not. We've had a bit of a head trim.
Took a little bit to go.
Well,
jammed up the guy's shavers.
I heard you was walking past the hedge while someone was trimming it and they mistaked you when you stopped. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Oh. It's great to have everyone here this evening. Hopefully, as you can see, that I am hosting tonight because Anime Razza's on limited sleep, so I've taken hold of the reins for now. So we shall probably go off the rails and see how we go. Tonight's topics, we're sort of covering the Arc 3.0, what we think of it, Season of the Plunder, looking into some gaming news and see where we go from there. But before we get into all that, what have you guys been playing this week? I'll go to you first, Shadow Maul.
Well, I've been playing Valheim again. It's a bit of a nice change. It's kind of like an RPG style game, like a hack and slash third person. Quite enjoying it. Got in with some bodies and got a server up and I'm kind of chilling on that for the last maybe 3 or 4 days now. So, yeah.
Quite good. Destiny wasn't kind of like your first game to say.
Well, to be honest, I've not really been playing it. I mean, I'm finding because now I'm at like 19, 15, 16, 14, 13, 70. That one. There isn't really much to do. Kind of feeling a bit. Well, there isn't much to do now. What the hell do I do? I'm just waiting for all the seasonal stuff.
Fair play. Stubz, what have you been playing this week, sir?
A lot, really. I've done a strike on Destiny. That's about it. Have you get on it more, do
you do need, but to be fair, we do need to start getting you through the content, helping you get through Witch Queen, because you finished Beyond Light now, haven't you? You've done the story campaign.
It's my fault for not coming. It's fucking heat, even though the heat's gone. Really hot in my bedroom. Struggles with the heat, the headphones on.
Yeah, it's still.
Someone needs to bring out a headset that I just thought the Samsung Galaxy Buds, but for the Xbox, it'd be so much easier. And cooler.
Cool. Do you know what you could get? You could get one of them fans that goes around your neck, making the rounds on TikTok at the moment.
Oh yeah. No, that would get annoying very fast. Very, very fast.
Also, I was listening to last week's Xbox Live Party podcast, catching up, and BMG has put me off wanting to get Xbox fridge. He says that they're louder than PS4 all the time.
That is true, and they give off a hell of a lot of heat. Oh, we've got one here. Very loud, gives off a lot of heat. I wouldn't really recommend it, to be honest. It's something novelty to have, but for practical use.
No, not very good in the streamers room.
I was thinking about one, but no, not now.
For the winter, if you don't want to put your heating on.
I've got my PC for that.
Be a wise investment.
all I have to do during winter is turn my PC on and put on F1, turn on the ray tracing. I guess it's room heated up nice and quick.
And last but not least, Anime Razza, what have you been playing this week, sir?
I have been playing Destiny.
Thank you. Someone's been playing it first. More than a strike.
Obviously more than a strike. I mean, I played the seasonal content and it is up on my channel, so that's there to be watched. And that's really been it this week.
Promote your channel. Get people subbed.
Tell us. Give us the info.
over on Anime Razza's YouTube channel. It is literally just Anime Razza. And yeah, I've been playing. At the moment, I'm going through Fallout 3. Playing that, and every week I'm uploading the seasonal content on Destiny. Also on Saturdays at the moment, I am doing a treasure hunt, and on top of that, I am considering bringing back vlogs to my channel.
When you say a treasure hunt, does that mean you're actually going outside with a camera, building yourself a boat, and then going out to find an island and dig treasure up?
No, you know the Destiny treasure hunts for this season, the actual map that you got, that one that starts on the moon. I've done that one this week. So.
Oh yeah, the one they're giving you the cryptic clue. And,
Yeah.
And because they've highlighted for me with that, they've highlighted keywords so you can figure out what it is. There has been a number of people on Twitter that have actually turned around and said, "Do Destiny really have to highlight this? Because if you have to highlight this, you must be a dumb fuck and all this lot, and the thing must be brain dead." I'm like, hang on a minute, I needed it for help.
Hang on a minute. There's children playing this game as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So it's like, but sorry, Razza, carry on.
Yeah, that's pretty much my channel for now at the moment. I am, as Bob BMG knows very bloody well, I have started recording for after Fallout, the game of ESO. The gigantic task that is.
What's ESO?
You'll never get through that. Massive.
It
BMG
feels like
did.
it could never get through. Yeah, but
I,
painstakingly got
I
through.
really
years.
I co-host the Plastic Platforms as an ESO guy, and yeah, it's there's a lot of content there. It puts off a lot of new players. There's so much there, but
Yeah.
I struggle to
honest,
get into it.
Yeah, it's the
It's
start
fair enough,
content. It's the start
It-
content's the hardest.
Mm.
he said though it's fairer now. When Microsoft bought Bethesda, there's a lot of content you couldn't just earn, and now since Microsoft took over, they've got some policy. You have to make certain content earnable. Just before it wasn't. He says it's still quite unrealistic to be able to do it, the average working man. But he says some of
Or
it is
woman.
earnable. Or woman, correct. But yeah, he's a big fan of ESO, but you can get lost in that game if you really enjoy it.
Oh
Exactly. Sorry, Razza, carry on. Interrupted you
So
again.
yeah, I've got that gigantian test to come up to very soon. And like I said, I've started. It's just finding the time to do it and get as far ahead as I want.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan.
yeah.
No, not Ryan. Sorry. I don't know. It's called Elder Scrolls Online. Or was you taking the mickey? I think you was taking the mickey, weren't you? You asked what ESO was.
I know what ESO is, but there may be people watching that don't know what ESO
okay.
is.
Oh, right.
You got, yeah.
Yeah. Well, myself, I've been trying a couple of games actually. Obviously, same as Shadow Maul says, with the new Destiny content. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of content. There is a lot of stuff in there, but for something that they've now introduced for this season's kind of doesn't let you do kind of progress how you want, which we'll go into a bit later on in the show. But so I've been trying out a different couple of games actually. I tried a bit of 2 Point Campus because I used to love Theme Hospital. I played 2 Point Hospital and really enjoyed them. 2 Point Campus really isn't for me. It's a bit too much messing about. Got to sort people's timetables out and stuff. So that's been backbench for the moment. Midnight Express, which is also on Xbox Game Pass. I highly recommend it. If you like the John Wick films and you just want to run through levels, literally beating the crap out of everyone, ripping the heads off, and bashing them, shooting them, stabbing them. It's worth playing. It's not a very long game. I'm only probably about an hour and a half into it, but it's absolutely a brilliant game. Can't wait to get back into it. And I also started because I toyed with the idea of like playing it, not playing it, because it has that sort of Deathloop type of thing. The Forgotten, oh god, I've forgotten what it's called. The Forgotten Ones. I could be wrong there. I'll have to double check it. It's the game that's on Game Pass, not long come to it. And the idea is you've gone back in time to Rome, trying to figure out who's going to break some rule before everyone turns to gold. It's a Forgotten something. I'm sure it's the Forgotten Ones. I could be wrong. I'll have a look, and when I figure out what it is, I'll let you know. But yeah, well, that Destiny as well. Like I say, playing a nice big chunk of Destiny. Trying to get through bits of content that I can, but kind of it's a bit of a stalemate. So I think we'll start off with that one actually. New thing that when we watched the showcase, we found out that the showcase is running until the 8th of December, and we sort of sat there and had a conversation. How are they going to make this season run all the way to the 8th of December? Yeah, we know we're going to have Season of the Lost and we're going to have the Winter Solstice event coming in, but it's like, for the season content, what they're going to do to, make it last, what they're going to introduce. And, they were the sort of questions we were asked each other, thought about, gave our thoughts and opinions on. But now, not by announcement, but by discovering the old-fashioned way of playing it, we found out that they're limiting how much you can progress in the seasonal story campaign. You can only do X amount a week, and it says they're talking, they'll get back to you, and it happens on the reset. So that answers the question of how they're going to stretch it out. They're going to stretch it out by limiting you what you can do each week, whereas previous seasons you could just blast on through it, no problem, get it all done, move on, do what you need to do. But it's like, it almost feels like they're doing it to keep players engaged in the game, in the season content, but limiting you to what you can do, which to me I don't think is fair, because like everyone's time, our times are limited and precious. Some people just want to get through that content, get stuff done, and then move on and come back at a later date. But it's like, it's kind of like they've stopped that. Stubz, I'll come to you first. Actually, with that in mind, with doing that, how do you feel that? Do you feel like that could alienate players, or do you think that's just going to give more players more time to catch up?
I mean, obviously, I haven't done much of the seasonal content, actually, no. But that, it's kind of, a lot of your hardcore are going to moan about that because they want to burn through it, max it all out. Then you are right. It is every week bringing players back to do that content, and it is a good idea. But
it's paid for. Remember, you've paid for it.
Oh, the season pass. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, the seasonal content.
It's technically not locking it down. It's like TV show as such, like releasing a new episode each week, kind of thing.
Yeah, once you pay for the season pass, yeah. If you don't have the season pass, you can only do I think it's like the first part of the quest.
Yeah.
And then it tells you to go and get the season pass.
I presume this is a new concept. Other games don't do this. Really,
outside of Destiny, there's a possibility, but not that I know off the top of my head. It's something I would say Destiny are new trying. It's like obviously they're just doing it, and they've not really said we're doing it in chunks each week. But it was kind of no. But it was trying to figure out how they were going to do it. How were they going to make this season last till December? Because it is quite a big chunk of time. And like I say, we know we've got a couple of events in between, but most people come into it for the story content, because it's four seasons every expansion, and normally you could just get your stuff done, move on, do whatever, play other games, and then come back after you've hit light level. But it's kind of slowed that down. Same with the gear you're getting from different events. Like I don't see any point doing the Wellsprings anymore because it only gives me powerful gear. Powerful gear doesn't give me above 1570, so I can't progress. I can't get my gear level up. My light level is stuck. I can only use pinnacle gear.
It's the same with the prime engrams as well, aren't they? They've become pretty useless. We're just getting them at 1570.
Yeah,
they're pretty useless as well.
So
At least they've been able to do it, because I remember before the launch of Halo Infinite, they kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to burn through our season pass," and they all fucking did.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Destiny managed to pull it off, by looks of it.
Yeah, but it kept people engaged, and yeah.
So I'm
Shadowball,
just,
how do you feel with this route that they've gone down and kind of just put it on people? They haven't really told anyone about it. Do you feel it's a disservice to gamers, or do you think it's better doing it this way to keep us more engaged to the full
in a
season?
way, I think it is a disservice to some players. Just due to the fact of, people just want to get it done, move on to the next game, or move on to the next part of Destiny, like maybe do your legacy campaigns, whatever, crack on with your weeklies, or crack on with raids and whatnot. But also but I think it's also a good thing for players, because then it allows players that got left behind, say, with Beyond Light, to get through Witch Queen and catch up with the rest of us.
Yeah.
They're not feeling alienated and left out.
Yeah, it's true. It's fair. It's fair game, because it's like I think they've actually slowed the progress of the season pass down as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but don't seem to be burning through it as quick as we did last season. It kind of slowed that down a bit, and it does feel like they've slowed the progress of getting gear down as well. It's almost like they're purposely slowing the pace down of the game, which, as we've all been playing Destiny for a while, it's kind of a bit off-putting. And I'll fire that one over to you, Anime. With that, do you feel like the game, they've slowed it down too much? Is there a chance that they could change this, alter this as we're going through the season, open it up so we can just do everything, get burn through it that we want? Because as we've said, time is precious. There are many games out there, but if you're having to squeeze in everything you want to do and the seasonal stuff and have to come back to it each week to progress, otherwise you're getting left behind, instead of just all progressing together as much as you want. How do you feel like that's fair?
I think it's to use a word that I don't use very often in terms of gaming. I think it's there for the casual player more than the hardcore. Personally, I think that's what it's about. I think, you've got your people who work 9 to 5, or they've got kids, they've got multiple responsibilities, and they can't play every single day of the week. I think that's what it's for, because they don't want the content droughts like they did, especially after, like, for say, the Taken King, where we were literally waiting a full year for more content. So I can understand why they've done it. I think it's just waiting and seeing how it goes, really, personally.
Yeah. But now we've all had a bit of time. I know, Stubz, you're still making your way through, and obviously I think we need to jump on at some point and try and get you through the Witch Queen stuff as much as we can. Did you purchase the season pass, the battle pass?
Yes.
Yeah. So if we
I
can try,
I purchased it a week or two before that event, because, as you know, Microsoft were offering some reward points for buying 4 of silver to buy the season pass anyway.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
so I got 2,500 points for buying it.
Yeah, so it definitely goes in your favour. Yeah, it's worth it. It's definitely worth having. Yeah, and you can, if anyone is looking, make sure you check out your punch cards and stuff on Microsoft Rewards, because just for doing small things, most people will buy the season pass anyway. It's worth looking on there, punching your card, see if you can get some Microsoft reward points because they add up at the end of the day. So it's worth getting, it's worth doing, it's worth looking at. There's always something out there. And also to make people aware, if you do have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, and the Destiny 2 Prime rewards are now live. So if you do have an account, link your account, get them downloaded. It's worth having. It's free. You know, whether you use them or not, vault them, break them down. It's worth having. You think you get a Sparrow, or is it a ship this time, and an exotic weapon, and an emblem?
It's strange because I'm just looking at it now and it's just saying available soon again.
It should show right at the very top and click claim now or claim reward.
Yeah,
they put the one you can right at the very top.
It's just telling me that it's available soon.
Oh, right. Oh well, maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe there's something going on, or they've got limited number.
Oh, it's because they've already claimed it. Yeah. So.
There you go. Yeah.
You get the Darcy exotic weapon, the cleans up good exotic weapon ornament, the machine of form exotic ship, and a plunder projection.
Yeah. So yeah, for free, it's worth having, it's worth getting, it's worth grabbing. Just a thought, really, for the whole panel and anyone in chat as well. With the now we've had a couple of weeks with Season of the Plunder. Do you feel like it's one of the better seasons, or do you feel like it's lacking at all? I'll go to Anime Razzie first.
I think personally, it has been fun. I think Catch Crash so far has actually kept me going. It's different. It's very different to anything we've seen previously in Destiny. Like, whoever thought we'd be flying through space, fighting other vessels? Like, I know there was talks about how this was meant to be the loading, like this sort of thing was going to be the loading screen kind of thing years ago, and it's like it's literally a real thing, but it's not the loading screen. I think it's one of them where it feels this season like they've just gone, here's a bowling ball, there's a hill full of snow, let's roll it down and let it go.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's a bit interesting. I do feel that it was a little bit misleading. So I'll come to you, Shadow Maul, next. Because they kind of made it sound like we were going to be sailing these ships, and they made it sound like you were going to be firing stuff back and forth and then jumping ship. They made it sound like a proper space pirate combat, and I think what we've got's not that case. No. Do you feel the same, Shadow Maul? Have I misheard that? Or?
I definitely feel the same way. I personally thought that it was going to be like two pirate ships in space firing the cannonballs at each other, and then it was going to be like some sort of Star Wars-esque style battle for the Guardians fighting, like the Fallen or the Cabal in their own ships, and we have to fly out in our ships and combat in space combat in our ships. I got so excited for that. Got into the Catch Crash, and basically my heart kind of sunk. I was like, what the fuck is this? But then I played it and I was like, actually, this isn't too bad. If you've obviously with the new arc, with Arc 3.0, oh, it makes it hella fun to run through that. Like when they said you could run through a room and kill 70+ enemies, they weren't joking. There has been points where I have run into a room and there has been maybe 40, 50, 60 enemies in there, and I've just killed every single one of them. And
well, we had, if you remember, when we was doing it, was it yesterday we did it? We jumped on, and I dropped a well with the Arc Soul, and everybody stood in it. Yeah. Everybody had an Arc Soul. We were using Risk Runner, Arc, and literally the screen went yellow. You could not see a thing for about a minute. You couldn't see anything. Couldn't see anyone, any enemies, characters.
Yeah,
it's like, what the hell?
It was fucking crazy. It was mad.
It was crazy. Yeah, definitely different. It was definitely different. What about you, Stubz? Have you had a chance to jump into any of the that side of the content, the Catch Crash yet?
No, can't really answer the question because you're on about comparing it to previous seasons. I've never done a season before.
No, sorry. I was asking, have you had a chance to have a go at the Ket Crash, the part of the new season where you're on the ships that they were describing in the showcase, where they made it come across as you were going to be flying these ships, and as if you're like, Assassin's Creed, where you're in ships on the sea, and you can attack the ships, then board the ships. That's kind of how it came across and they described, but really that's not what we've got. I don't know if you've had chance to mess with it yet.
No, well, now I know it's definitely misleading. I know you don't do that.
Yeah, it's kind of hyping it a bit to get people excited, shoved it live straight away to get everyone in, yet we couldn't really, it took us quite a while to actually be able to get on, and it was a bit like Shadow Maul said, it sunk your heart a little bit, thinking this isn't kind of what you described it as, but it's still fun as well at the same time. But yeah, we need to get you through Stubz. We need to get you through that content, and we need to get you started on the season stuff, because you can actually start the seasonal story now while you're doing the Witch Queen as well. Yeah. So we're gonna have to pick a time, and we're gonna have to start pulling you through that and pushing forward. Have you had chance to use Arc 3.0 yet, Stubz? The new they've upgraded the subclass.
I've been watching videos trying to understand it. It's so vast. What's involved in it? All these different. Yeah, there's a lot to it. There is. I haven't actually got to it yet.
It's a bit more of a complicated answer, isn't it? Really, with Arc.
Yeah,
it's massive. There's like 18-minute videos on it.
Oh yeah.
Loads to process.
Yeah, they've kind of.
Cool. Don't get me wrong. Looks very good.
It's good. It's definitely even like just worth trying out, giving it a play, depending on your play style. They've made it like the other classes where you can sort of make your own build, but it is mainly built on speed. And if, like I say, we remember from the showcase, originally a lot of the stuff was purely going to be more for it was the hunter in mind. I know Strand was made just at Hunter, but obviously we're not on about Strand today. It's the Arc side. It was more with the Hunter in mind, with the speed and stuff, and obviously they brought in an extra super, a new super for the Hunter, but they've kind of made it quite well right across, and I think the Warlock, that's got one of the most powerfulest moves, really, because you can absorb your grenade to have like the super powered Arc Soul, and then you can run super speed around while it just shoots
Sentinel Arc Soul.
Yeah.
I think it did actually have a different. I think it was just like I don't remember what was. I think it was just like an advanced Arc Soul at first, and then
Sentient Arc Soul, I think it's called.
Yeah, and then they changed it to the Sentinel Arc Soul. No.
Hello, Shadow Wolf. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in. Like I say, it's going on the Arc 3.0. I'll come to you next, Anime Razza. How have you found your time with it?
So far, I've played mainly Titan and Warlock for Arc 3.0 to see how it plays. Titan, I have to admit, the dodge I thought was going to be like very similar to the Hunter dodge that you get with the other subclasses. However, I did not expect it to be like halfway across a room.
Yeah. They kind of made it a bit. I think they have, but Chain nerfed it a little bit. I know it's like Arc Soul itself. They've knocked about 5 seconds off it because it was lasting forever. And if you walked through a well while you had it, it reset the timer, and they've knocked that off now. I've noticed that.
No, but if you do stand in the well, that timer does not go down.
For the normal one, not for the sentient one. The sentient one still now counts down. And what about you, and you, Shadow Maul? How are you finding your time with Arc 3.0? Favorite subclass?
What's
it the favorite?
Oh fuck yes, it is. Like I look at I think back to Void now, and I'm like, I wish someone would run fucking Void just so that I can just absolutely smash the shit out of a bloody out of a boss in my Arc.
I'll do it just for you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Like I don't know. There's just something that satisfies my ADHD about it. That just speed and just I don't know. It's just batshit crazy, and I'm having a hell of a time. Like I think back to when Solar came out. Solar 3.0 came out, and everyone was a bit let down by it. It didn't feel like it was enough. And then obviously we have Void 3.0, and it was better. It could have been better. Could have been better, but then me and BMG, we kind of found the OP way of using it. And then obviously we had Stasis, and it was good at first. They nerfed it. Now it's crap. Now I don't care, because who cares about ice crystals? I mean, I think the only useful thing about Stasis at this point is the fact that you can use it to run on walls.
Yeah. What's the name of this?
But then Arc is just like this raw power. I don't know. There's just something about it that just satisfies me, and I have a whale of a time now running around, smacking enemies, sliding, blinking, and then sending out a ton of thunderbolts across the floor, and absorbing my grenade, running at stupid speeds, and it's pretty crazy, and I'm absolutely.
Do you know what it kind of reminded me of? And as soon as I started playing with it, for anyone that has spent any time on YouTube watching gaming videos, probably come across Jacksepticeye's Happy Wheels. Yeah, and all I heard in my head was, "Speed is key."
Definitely. It's definitely you can tell that the light subclasses have had a lot of TLC put into them, and like say Stasis, it first came out, it was fun, it was different, and then they decided to nerf the hell out of it because there was a lot of complaints with in PvP on the Crucible side of stuff, and that it was just saying, oh, it's overpowered, can't do anything. Now it's just not fun to play, boring, it feels slow. I can see, because there's a lot of people complaining about the Titan side of things in PvP, the Crucible, and Gambit with it. It's some Super Punch or something like that. I don't play Titan, I don't play Warlock, because Warlock is king. So whatever this Super Punch is that charges and just destroys absolutely everything, there's a lot of people that isn't happy with that at the moment. So I can see more nerfs coming into the class. I just hope they don't go as far as they did with Stasis and just literally kill it off, really, if you will. But it actually leads us straight into our next topic, really, of the interview with Joe Blackburn, is it? Joe Blackburn, that was it. Interviewed multiple times. I think PC Gamer got it. Pretty much just going over, some of the changes that are coming to Destiny 2, the stuff that they want to do, coming along with Lightfall, where they wanted to go with it, the sort of theme they want to set, and kind of what Strand's going to bring into it. It's that Spider-Man-esque swinging, which kind of, for me, I'm not overly keen on it, because it's how's that going to work? How can all three classes pretty much do the same swing? And from the footage that we saw, it's like, it's sure they're going to have to change it up a bit, because you've got Warlock, you've got Hunter, you've got Titan, but if we're all doing the same swing and that, you've not got much play difference in between it. And I hope it isn't going to go the way, because it is a darkness subclass. If no one knew, it is darkness, it's not fight. And that is coming with the Lightfall DLC expansion. But I do hope that it has more legs to stand on than what Stasis has, because Stasis was a gimmick that didn't last very long at all, and I don't even really know anybody that uses it, if I'm honest. But yeah, some quality of life changes that they've also mentioned, and they've talked about the sunsetting, because obviously the question has been asked about Nessus, the planet that rarely anyone goes and uses, home of the Vex. About it, they're saying it's not going to be sunsetted, so everyone's saying it's not going to be sunsetted, it's going to be here to stay. But they have come out and said, for now, it's safe for now. And he kind of went into a bit of details with this, talking about how the reason they had to sunset things, whether we agree with it or not, believe them or not, is they're saying they want to keep file sizes down, because obviously you look at Call of Duty Warzone, what's that now? Is that like 700 gig now? Getting up there?
Well,
Stupidly high amounts, yeah?
But Call of Duty Cold War itself is 200 gigs on my PC.
Exactly. Absolute crazy. So they're saying they've sunsetted stuff to keep that down. Also, when they're bringing in new content, that when they do introduce it and they're testing it and they're trying to test it against the old content and places that are in Destiny they were struggling with, having issues with, and it just, whether it's just because of ease of use or resources, to sunset it, that way they're eliminating the issue and bugs. That's sort of what they were hinting at. And also they've also hinted at that beyond the next, there's another expansion after Lightfall, and Destiny is going to carry on after that. So really it's kind of trying to get a feel, really, what we think of what the future of Destiny is going to be. Do you, Stubz, do you kind of agree with Joe Blackburn in the sense of the reason for sunsetting content to save space and make sure newer content works without bugs?
The problem is that it's hard though, because we're not developers, are we? That's the main thing. Obviously, you can say no, it's just bullshit. He just doesn't want it, but it probably is the reason we don't know how all these bugs work and game development really works. I mean, I've watched a few documentaries, but that's not actually game developing. Trying to get a better insight. I mean, that probably is the reason for sunsetting. It is. I would say so. But not sunsetting future content's a good idea, but they've got to be careful with that though, because if they decide in the future to sunset content, start doing it again, then they're going to have a revolt on their hands.
I suppose, yeah.
But then again, though, if they're talking about the future of Destiny, the end of this chat, now here could be the kicker. Now, they're saying they're not sunsetting the expansions. What if all these future expansions and the light and the dark storyline ends? Whatever they're planning, if that all comes out, because it's a new chapter as such, potentially they won't call it Destiny 3. It's all new. If it's just not part of that world anymore, and it gets sunsetted because it's no longer there. Something new. That could happen. The people won't like it, but they could get away with it, because I'm not saying that content would be gone, wouldn't it? Because that really would be a nightmare. That would be a bit of a nightmare if I'm trying to run a new in Destiny into the future, whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, and then having people go back and playing all the old stuff. Might be a bit of a nightmare of file sizes, as you say, and bugs, etc.
Yeah.
In that sense, they might be able to get away with it because it's not part of the world no more. It's not even whatever they're doing after the light and the darkness, collusion, etc. That is a way they could get away with it. I'm not saying they will do it, but there is potential for them to still sunset it.
Yeah. If you reading the article, it does kind of, he states there is, there has to be hard choices that have to be made. There has to be a bit of give and take. So even though at the moment they said, right, from now on there's no more sunsetting, but in the interview afterwards, after the showcase and things, they have kind of left it a little bit of wiggle room, so they could potentially say, look, we're going to have to take this off for now, because obviously as technology moves on, as time goes on, engine gets better, they've got more tools that can do stuff better. Maybe
they're working on it, aren't they?
Yeah, they're working on some old strikes. Yeah, they're trying to improve some older content to bring back, touch stuff up, improve things, because there has been a lot of people with the strikes. Vanguard Ops really hasn't had much of a a do-over. The only thing they've really done is add battlegrounds into it to mix it up a bit. But even that, some of the content does look very dated. So it's going to wait and see what happens and where we go from there. Really, Anime Razza, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that what they're saying about getting rid of keeping the old content going for now because it's causing too many issues, or as Stubz has sort of said, maybe once we're past the next 2 expansions, Lightfall and the last one which ends that saga, are we potentially not so much Destiny 3, maybe that's when they just call it Destiny, but then they have to sunset previous content because of we're in this new game now, something different, because they're not sunsetting it because file size, but it's more because we've got a new game.
I think it's one of them of, at the moment, they're trying to keep as much content as they can because of the fact that we've lost, 2 full years of content, some of which is paid for. In fact, a lot of it was paid for. Yes, I know that the 2 expansion passes from year 1 were, to put it politely, horrible. And they were very dark times in Destiny. But I think that the whole issue of getting it to the end of this saga, I think once they get to the end of this saga, we might actually end up at a point where it is perfect for new players and we don't have to try and explain the story of what's missing to players.
You say that, but one actually when you open the destinations on Destiny anyway, you have the timeline. You can go right back to the Red War on the timeline. But as Joel Blackburn did say in the interview and stuff, the real crux of the story of what they're telling now started at Shadowkeep, because Shadowkeep you can play. That's where we're at. Shadowkeep is kind of the start of this light and dark saga. I know Forsaken, you have the Crow that kind of played into it, but for the actual light versus dark story, even though it covers right from the original Destiny 1, this whole arc, he said, Shadowkeep is where it starts. That's where you need to be starting.
Yeah.
The stuff that happened before, you can you can just get off the timeline, which is on there. You don't have to YouTube it. You can click it. You can go across. Gives you a bit of information at each point, as well as each season as well. If you want to see other seasons that are missed and what happened in that.
It's right,
they've kind of kept it that way.
On other podcasts, I always hear it. The one thing people laugh at Destiny, they'll say, "I got a fucking clue what Destiny's about for playing." Even you've mentioned it before, BMJ. I'm not really sure what's going on sometimes.
Oh yeah. It's one of them. It's having to go and actually look at what's going on. I played Destiny from Destiny 1 from the start, and half the time, even some of the times now, I can't tell you what the hell's going on. I am probably finding it a little easier to understand now than I did, but I don't know if they're trying to make things easier for people, or if it's just that it's kind of starting to click into place now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. What about you, Shadow Maul? How do you feel about the whole sunsetting and the future of Destiny? Do you think that we're going to lose content once this?
That's guaranteed. What I think they should really do is they should release, let's say, Destiny Classic or Destiny 2, the Classic, where the content that gets sunsetted, instead of coming out of the main game, Destiny 2 goes into like Classic, and then then that way there's not really much maintenance needing to be done on that. You just need a skeleton thing really to deal with it. That's what I personally think they do, because I think it's wrong that they're expecting people to pay upwards of £80, $80 for an expansion in the game that maybe 3-4 years down the line is just gonna get taken out of the game. It's just like either just give it us for free, or allow us to still access that content, allow us to still go to that storyline. I've heard it off a few people now, but they're going, they're going, who the hell's this guy? What the hell's the Red War? What the hell's New Light? And it's just like, and then I have to sit there and say, right, well, this is what happened during the Red War. And then they're like, right, so where did all these fuckheads come from? They're on about the Scorn. I'm like, well, that came from this expansion pass. Right, so what was that about? I tell them about it, and they're like, right, okay. I think I'm starting to understand now.
Yeah.
But then I think what they need to do is if they're going into this light dark thing, I think they need to change the tower. There is a lot of NPCs in there, a lot of AI in there. They keep referencing and talking about people like Cade 6 and the Red War and things like that. And I personally think either chuck us back in the old tower. It's been what, 5 years, 6 years since we left the old tower. You'd have thought that they'd have sent us on, like a strike mission or a supply mission to go and get supplies, bring it back, repair the old tower. We'll go back to the old tower. Because, this tower that we're in now, I personally think is too big. There's too much space, there's too much running around to go from NPC to NPC. I think we need to go back to the smaller tower, where it was much easier to find stuff, and I personally think that's what we need to do, and
a lot more compact.
It's just more compact, and then all they have to do is when they say, like Season of the Lost, or the Summer Solstice, or the Winter Solstice, they open the big doors at the back of the tower and go and just decorate that whole area and say, there you go. The whole area is for that season, for that specific event.
Yeah.
Because the problem that I keep finding is this tower we're in currently, it's too big, but the problem is when we have an event, that whole area in front of us is just covered, and it's like, well, I want to go from Postmaster to Master Rahul. It's like, well, I've got to run around the whole seasonal stuff just to get to him. I'd rather just walk in a straight line.
Yeah. Good evening, Friendly Pest. Thank you for joining us tonight. Great to see you. I want to see Stubzy Baby's beautiful face.
So yeah, the whole sunset thing, in a way, I think is wrong. That they're, like I say, expected people to pay upwards of £80, £100 for an expansion, but then 4 years down the line, basically throwing it away, saying, well, we can't make it work. Well, hang on a minute. People have paid their own money, their hard-earned money for this crap, and you're just going to do what Call of Duty does and just goes, yeah, well, we're taking 70 quid off you a year, and now that we're done with that game, we'll move on to the next one.
They should be able to, because the Destiny 1 server's just been taken down.
Yeah, that's recently. They've gone off now, have they?
They should be able to do that if they kept the Destiny 1 servers up for so long. Should be able to do something like that.
I will probably, I'll plug in the PS4 and jump on that and see if it is still up later on.
I think they've actually officially, didn't they, turn the servers off now? I'm sure there was something about they're about to come off, or they are off. But yeah, I can understand what you're saying, like say knocking this content off and things and sunsetting stuff. But it's kind of like you can say it about any game. At the end of the day, any game you buy, anything you're paying for digital content, there is always that chance and time that it's going to be taken away. There's a chance it's not going to run.
The biggest example, though. Bungie are the biggest example, the only example.
Well,
not many big cases, is there? But you are right.
No, it's your older games.
Removed.
Yeah.
Still
It's
can't
like
be removed.
you look at the amount of 360 games now, servers and all being shut down, and you can't. And they're pretty much rendering unplayable now. It shouldn't be happening. This because it's obviously Destiny 2 is not really that old. I'm sure with the technology and stuff they've got now, and now with PlayStation's back in, they should be able to figure some out. Maybe they are. Maybe for all we know, they're actually working on something. They could do that. Who knows? Who knows? It's all a wait and see, and all we can go off is what they tell us until, what they tell us if actions get put, the words get put into actions, and see where we go from there. But really, like, looking at the future of Destiny, we're pretty much coming to the end of the Destiny stuff. We're going to get into some other gaming stuff very shortly, peeps, so don't worry, it's not all D2. After this, because I think personally that everything's going to end at the tower, talking about the tower and stuff, with because the Traveller's there, the Traveller's floating above the last city, they're the Witness, the others, they're coming for that. I think we're going to see a lot of stuff based mainly at the tower, and I think that's where things could end, where we're going to see a change maybe. But if that is the case, where do we think they can actually go with Destiny next? Because everything that's happened is kind of built around this. I know it's from Shadowkeep, we've really got into it, but everything's kind of leading up to this whole 10 years of Destiny, this 10-year roadmap that they've had or changed, but this 10 years is leading up to this. Where are we going to go from here? Are we going to have a completely new game? Is that the end of this? We're going to end up somewhere else? New classes, new characters, full new story? Or are they going to figure a way to carry on? I'll come to you first, Anime Razza. What do you think?
Wait a minute, sorry, it's got to pop in there. Friendly Pest says the music's still playing.
It is.
Oh, is it?
The
Yeah,
whole time.
Yeah, I turned it down so we could be heard over it.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I didn't even know. Sorry, I didn't realise the music was still playing through the show. If it is a bit annoying or anything like that, just tell us and we can use that. It's not a problem. Yeah. But yeah, so was it? Sorry, Anime, were you on it first?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I just lost my train of thought there. It's all right. So where do you see Destiny going after the final expansion? Do you think the tower's going to be destroyed? Are we going to be new story, or where do you think we're going to be going?
With the name like the Final Shape, it could go either way. I mean, it could go with the Sword Logic as the Final Shape, or the Bomb Logic. So it is going to be one of them, and see how it goes. I'm not 100% sure. I would like to get out of the solar system though. I would like to go see Tour of Battle, for example. Especially with the fact that the Cabal are helping us. I would like to see us return the favor and take and basically, yeah, I would like to see it where we help them take back their home world from Xivu Arath, which is the third hive god. Obviously, you've got Oryx, Savathun, and Xivu Arath. Those are we've killed off 2. We still have to fight Xivu Arath. I think it would be nice to leave Xivu till after, and we go to Tour of Battle and fight her there with the Cabal, and then we might even be able to go back and help the Elixni as well. I think it's all about helping us at the moment. We're like the final stand. I think the next stage will be to like push them back from our allies' worlds. I think that needs to happen.
And see where it goes from there. Chadamol, what about you? Where do you feel that we're going to carry on with the characters and everything we've got at the end of the last expansion? Do you think it's even going to be in the tower? Do you think we're going to finally destroy that big ball in the sky? And where do you think we're going to go?
Well, obviously I've been sat here thinking about it, and I'm thinking, Christ, what could happen? And I'm thinking, well, we as Guardians are kind of moving away from the light now. We're kind of leaning more towards the darkness. It sounds like to me that we may end up joining the Witness and potentially taking down the Traveller.
Yeah, different.
or maybe even not destroying the traveler, but maybe imprison it and, in a way, abuse its light.
You want to abuse the big ball in the sky.
The big ball in the sky. That lazy fucker has been sat there since the start. He needs to do something except go poof. You know.
I would like to keep my arc 3.0.
Yeah. So my thoughts are is because we're more leaning towards the darkness now, where the Guardian's not really caring much about light anymore. You know, that we're finding out that actually, in fact, the darkness is quite strong, and it almost seems, if not stronger, than the light.
Mm.
You know the saying, you know, fight fire with fire. Join the darkness, you know, take it down from the inside. Or there is, we join the darkness, we suck the light out of the traveler and tell it to fuck off. Boot it out the system, say we're done with your bullshit. You don't fuck all to help us.
That's what's attracting the witness, isn't it? That's where it's leading to. They're all coming for the traveller. So maybe we get more of know about what it's about and what's going on before it dies, if that's indeed what happens.
And I mean, you know, we and speaking of the tower, yes, I could probably see the tower getting destroyed. You know, and then instead we end up on the helm as our base of operations, where all the NPCs goes, because you know, you still think about it, the helm's mobile. We could take it to whatever planet we want at that point. We can just jump on the ship and go, right, we're off to this fucking planet. We could just station it there.
Go somewhere different.
Like for instance, with the new world coming with Lightfall, we could just move the helm there and just forget about the tower and, you know.
Yeah, something like that. What about you, Stubz? What do you think the future of Destiny is past the final expansion? Do you think it's going to be definitely a new game? Do you think that it's just going to be a carry-on? We're going to have a new 10-year roadmap with another load of stuff that we're fighting? Or do you think it's going to be something completely new or just in a new area?
I mean, typically it probably will be just a continuation, but what if it's like, do you remember when you heard all the controversy, big marketing campaign Fortnite did, where they literally turned Fortnite off and then had people watching the screen for 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
What if Destiny fucking sent an update out and you fucking was presented with that, and all the characters you know were gone and it was all new?
There'd be some upset people.
Be very bold. Just trying to think of devil advocate. I do side what you lot guys are saying, but what if they did something crazy like that?
I'd welcome it. I'd like it.
Cade wasn't really. Cade 6 didn't really get killed. That was some kind of your imagination, and the fuckers come. Oh, I'm back.
Oh no, we're in a dream. That would be the biggest
You're in a
cop-out
dream.
in history.
What about if Bungie gave us a choice at some point towards, let's say, after Lightfall? They say, right, you've got darkness, you've got light, and they say, choose your path. You choose the darkness, you stay with the darkness. You choose the light, you stay with the light.
Which would help also with the fact you've got 3 characters. Well, most players have 3 characters.
I don't. I've got 1.
I do.
And that's
One
bound to the
character.
account, not the character. The account. If you
I
choose
would
darkness on one account,
that's a tough. That's tough. Ooh.
you know, exactly. It's a
I'd
tough
rather,
decision.
I'd rather the character.
Character, yeah.
Because then if you're doing it based on character, then, you know, you could get best of both worlds, and it kind of, you know, you kind of go, right, but this is what happens on it. So it gives you some sort of mystery then. What if I chose the light? What if I chose the darkness?
Yeah, that just sounds cruel. But, you know, putting it to the account. So, yeah.
I am
and if
cruel.
you try and create any other character in the future, you're stuck with it forever to the end of time.
I mean, we're heading into WoW territory there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, problem is though, now PlayStation are owned. They say, well, it's a fucking PlayStation move. It's got to be them.
Well, Speaking of PlayStation, that just leads us straight into our community question
It does, doesn't
from
it?
Sergeant Steve over on Twitter. He posted last week, a question for us to answer on air. So I shall read it out and then we'll go from there. Regarding Destiny, it says, "Do you think PlayStation will be able to secure exclusive missions for any future Destiny games that are released, despite Bungie wanting to stay multi-platform?" Stubz, I will come to you first with that one. What are your thoughts?
No. Because
No.
I like PlayStation are moving in a different direction now. They've acquired Bungie because this money making. Destiny's a big platform. Say game, it's a game, but it's more of a platform. They've got a lot of players. The biggest player base, I believe, on console is on PlayStation. And they seem to be going in a direction where they don't want to keep antagonising the both fan bases. If you ask me, I think them days are gone. I mean, when they did that crap, that was in the PS4 days. I had a PS4, so I actually used the content. I did, but it was a bit over the top where Destiny couldn't even, Xbox couldn't even say that they were on the Xbox. I think them days are gone. But no, quest-wise, I don't think they do. If they did something like that, it'd be fucking stupid. It would, but it wouldn't go down right. It wouldn't go down well.
But they're doing
I
Harry
do, but
Potter. PlayStation have paid for exclusive quests in Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy.
they can make mistakes here and there, you know. I don't think they will. I don't think they will with Bungie because the way the deal was done, and Bungie really would be against that. They'd say that it's trying to piss off the player base on the Xbox. We had this in the PS4 days.
You'll be
Activision.
pissing the PC players off as well.
Well, yeah.
I suppose the thing is now, because as it was announced with Phil Spencer, as he obviously with everything came out with the CMA. Don't worry, we're not going into that. That isn't happening on this show. So Stubz, no, we will leave that one. We will leave that one for now. We will not touch that one for now. But after the CMAs, what they announced, Phil Spencer, he did come out and confirm that the exact same game, feature-wise and everything, will release on PlayStation the same as Xbox. So to me, I read that is there's going to be no exclusive content from the Xbox version to the PC version to the PlayStation version. The exclusive bit for Xbox is going to be it's on Game Pass. That's where that advantage is going to be, not in exclusive maps. So, you know, you might get the odd skins and the perks and that, but all of the actual content that you're paying for is the same. But as that's now been put in and they've he's turned around and said this, PlayStation could be like, well, he's already signed a thing to say he's going to do that and publicly said that. We haven't said, apart from saying we're not making the game exclusive, they've never mentioned anything about making content exclusive.
See, this is the thing. I was confused when The Verge came out and said that Phil Spencer signed something back in January, because what Phil actually said in that tweet was, he said he had a call with Jim Ryan. He never said he'd signed a letter of intent to him at all. He said he made a phone call to him.
Yeah.
I don't know where this letter's come from.
Yeah, I wondered that, because we know he said he had a call back in January.
Because Scott from Green Pass, Scott from Green Pass was looking at that, and he said, well, if you look at all these tweets from back then, Phil never mentioned a letter. He mentioned a phone call. I mean, there may have been a contract signed or something. We don't know.
Yeah, a letter of intent or something like that.
But no, it's see, even with a letter of intent, technically, can you do that when you don't own a company?
Because it's not illegal. It is. I don't, because it's not like a legal, nothing. It's nothing legal or anything. It's kind of saying if we do purchase these and we get them, this is this is me writing and signing to say this is what we're gonna do. So you know what we're gonna do. So if we don't do it, you can hold our feet to the fire and say you did this, you said this, but you've done that. Other than that, legal wise, I don't think it's anything. But that's Luke Steele's territory.
Oh, it is.
And the reason I'm not mentioning anything about the CMA and going into that because I have no full idea about all the stuff. If we had Luke on, Luke, I'm sure would love to go on into that, but you'll have to catch midweek gaming for all that information. Come this Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe it. I do believe them that they're going to keep it multiplayer because they even came out and said that if this game was to be exclusive, it'd be non-profitable. That it only makes money when it's multiplayer.
Well, could you not see like an exclusive strike or an exclusive raid, something or a certain quest line that's exclusive to the PlayStation platform? Everyone else can access everything else. You're not losing everything else because this content is reserved there. You wouldn't have access to it unless you had PlayStation.
I would hope they didn't start doing that crap
Yeah.
again. I mean, the only thing I could see is Destiny would be on PlayStation Extra or Premium. All the expansions, all that content would be on that service.
Yeah.
I do see that coming. That's not a.
Yeah, it's going to be a few.
I know. I'd imagine that they could make that exclusive. So say Game Pass can't get Destiny.
Well, they took it. Used to be on Game Pass, and they took it off it. But what would be the perfect time? I can't see that, Ryan. I can't see that.
I
but
texted BMG.
What would be the perfect time?
Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Right, yeah. Just tell me. Is my microphone a bit dodgy again?
Yeah, it's gone dodgy again.
I really don't know. I might have to have a mess with it.
Is this where he just disconnects it and punches a wall?
Disappears, yeah.
Drops off his desk, plugs it back in, just starts working.
Works fine. But what would be the perfect time to put this into the PlayStation service? Should be obvious. There's a new expansion coming out.
Oh,
I think it
yes.
Lightfall.
Imagine the amount of new subscribers and that you would get in there instantly, especially if it's coming to the extra and premium service. Get all the expansions and base content. It's money maker. You're going to make loads of subscriptions, and they're going to do it. I can see it happening. But what about yourself, Shadow Maul? What do you think? Do you think we're going to see exclusive content on the PlayStation side, like a quest line or something like that? Or
I think it's going to be similar to what they did with Call of Duty. Yeah, how Activision and Sony had this deal where PlayStation would get like certain weapons or certain maps or something a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year early. I think that's more what it's going to be rather than, a whole quest line left out of Xbox and PC because Sony want to have it. That won't sit right. That will cause a lot of outrage. And then obviously Bungie would have to step in and say, right, well, I'm sorry, we're sorry, Sony, but we've got more pissed off customers on PC and Xbox than we do on PlayStation now. Well, why don't we just do like a fucking triangle gun for you guys on PlayStation, yeah, or whatever. But yeah, I personally think that they shouldn't quest line it. They shouldn't just put a whole separate quest line for Sony, for PlayStation. Because how I see it is Sony own Bungie at this point, so basically Sony are basically Bungie's fucking wallet at this point. It's like, oh yeah, we need this. All right, there you go. There's the cash for it. Go fucking do it.
Yeah, there is that. Is my microphone better? Does that sound better?
Yeah,
yeah, it's better. Right. I unplugged it and did the old.
Plug
it back in.
Just to add
back on.
But
just to add to what you were saying there, they're not like Microsoft. They're like Sony, like PlayStation. Don't go. Have whatever money you want. Go and do what you want. They're not like that. They're not. Xbox are like that.
Yeah.
They would invest in the studio, but they're very sensible.
Yeah.
But to be fair though, they did, and I did do some digging into this. But from what I found out, the only reason Sony actually got Bungie, acquired Bungie, was for their cross-platform technology.
The live service and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what they've grabbed for, mainly. Which is, it's just one of them. It's something they need. It's what PlayStation lacking. It's what they struggle with, and it's going to help them a lot down the line. Which fair play to them. They've got them. They've offered them the right money. I'll ask you the same, Anime Razza. Do you think they're going to see exclusive content? And also keep in mind as well that even though PlayStation now own Bungie, it is not under the PlayStation Studios banner. It's actually being run as a separate entity, but owned by Sony. It's under the Sony umbrella, but it's not under the PlayStation Studios banner, PlayStation banner. It's kind of kept separate.
Yeah.
Same as the new mobile studio that they've just bought is going to be the same. Does that give PlayStation the advantage of still getting some content for free, or do you think they're going to just leave Bungie completely independent and just let them do everything for everything so they can all make money? Again, remembering that they have paid Warner Brothers, Discovery, X amount of money to have exclusive quests on PlayStation.
I think, me personally, I don't want to see the same as what we had, where we had guns missing over on the 360. Strikes, we just weren't there. We were
2
missing.
years to wait for and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind waiting for, let's say, a full game, right? Like a full year of. Yeah, it's not ideal for content creators who play on a specific platform. But 9 times out of 10, you could probably wait a year, just so then you have that extra time for those coming over. But at the same time, I would hope that they're able to play it, have the exact same content overall, with it being technically, even though it's owned by Sony and it not coming under, that it's running independently. I think it would be nice to see. But there's only one way we're going to find out, and that's wait and see.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of it is hoping. Can I also mention how funny it is that the publishers that Bungie had originally for Destiny are now with Xbox?
No, they're not yet. But
Well, they're going over to.
Oh, not if the CMA have their way. And Sony in bed partnerships. No, not going into it. Not going into it. Stubz will get on his soapbox. We'll be here if we ain't got enough time for that.
We'll be here at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I can't be bothered. That's why I've got on Wednesday. I've got the expert in Luke.
That's
can argue
it.
Then.
No, well, we say nobody can argue.
Oh, I've seen it happen, even when an expert is on a podcast.
Exactly. Well, we'll move on from the Destiny content, information, topics, and what have you. And cheers, Steve, for the community question. If anyone else has got anything they'd like to ask, for us to, a question to ask and for us to answer, it can be gaming, Destiny related, anything you want. Hit us up on the socials at Stasis Chat, and we will answer it on the next show.
All the links are in the description.
Yep, all links in the description.
Okay.
All the links are in the description now.
Yes, they
Anime?
are. Yes,
Okay.
they are.
Okay.
Sorry, Stubz.
I don't think we told him.
Oh, when they're on their anchor feed, I made sure my links were in there.
Yeah, no, they are now. So
Yeah.
we'll move on. We'll move on to a bit of Xbox news. As it's now kind of come out and officially come out. Ultimate Game Pass Family and Friends. It's been priced at the moment euro at $21.99 a month euro, which pretty much works out the same here in the UK, I think. Or is it? I can't remember the difference between the pound and the euro. I think they're pretty much on par. So for the sake of the argument, $21.99 here in the UK, and I think it's $24.99 in America.
Be $25 roughly.
Yeah, 24. Yeah.
Currently, the dollar it's 87 pence to $1.
Yeah. Yes, that'll work about about $24.99 US. And that'll give you, obviously, that's a month. That will give you 5 Game Pass Ultimate to share between family and friends in the same country, which they've made clear. Obviously, the first one's with the person that's setting it up, so you can share with 4 friends or family. I'm assuming it's going to work the same as Netflix does, where you put in, you have a profile and you would access it that way. I'm assuming. You haven't gone into detail whether you're, say I've got Game Pass, Stubz has got the pass, and he says, right, we've all got Game Pass, but I've got this, just pay me X amount a month and I'll give you the code access to it, as you would with Netflix and have your own profile. Would that carry what you've been doing over, or have you got to start fresh? They haven't kind of give any of these details yet, have they? I think it would be for the actual main holder keeps his account. I don't know how it's going to work for anyone else that's already got Game Pass, so it's going to be interesting to see.
So I was just looking on this article here. Those that have a full month of Game Pass Ultimate, it will be converted into 18 days of membership.
Yeah, that'll balance it out
about half, near enough half.
That's motivation. Yeah, it's as Friendly Pest says, point out that it says only the host account can game share with this plan. That's their motivation for this great deal. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting if you've got family and friends, like myself, as I've used myself as an example many a times. As I've got 5 subscriptions in the house anyway, so this would benefit me greatly. It would save me money, and the way things are at the moment, saving money is the best thing we can do. Is it something you would take advantage of? And would you see if there was like a deal or a trial to use? Would you give it a go and have enough people to share the code with? Stubz, what about you? Is it something that you would use?
It isn't. No, it really isn't something I'd use. I use mine and I'll share. My son, he doesn't really play it that much. He's Minecraft the odd time, but it isn't really something that would benefit me. It would benefit someone more like yourself, BMG, or others. It wouldn't really benefit me, but I understand it will benefit thousands of people out there who will.
Do you think that with this, obviously once it actually goes worldwide and everyone's got access to it, do you think that they might close that game share loophole where you can? Do you think even with this, you think they'll keep it going?
Well, no, because it's the way the Xbox systems.
Do you think they could change it on the back end?
It's the way the system's built. It's like game share will still be there, but it's built so the people that are in your family plan, obviously, the main account holder can still share Game Pass with somebody. The rest of them won't be able to, and that's fair enough. That is, because it's not like I don't think anyone expected to go into Game Pass family and friends, and every one of them 5 people in it could share it with another person. That's just not going to happen.
No.
And that's probably to cut the numbers down. Game share is inherently part of the way you build their licensing, and when you buy games, unless a developer requests that game share is not active. I don't think any developer has, but they could if they wanted to. Yeah. Or unless it's, but some people may think it's a plan to get rid of game share, but it's technically not.
Apparently you're wrong again, Stubz.
A Friendly Pest, Stubz wrong again.
So I've seen him on one angle, yes, but do you believe Friendly Pest that they're going to get? So once this is rolled out, you think they're just going to drop they're going to remove game share completely, even if you haven't got the Xbox Game Pass family and friends.
That is a good point that he makes there. I expect joint accounts won't be able to set home boxes. They would probably disable that feature.
Possible. That's what I mean. It's how they're going to do it. Is this a way?
It's not easy.
No.
Implement. It's really difficult to implement, but one count. It's going to have one Xbox, technically one main Xbox account. For Game Pass Family and Friends is going to have 5 accounts. That means 5 people can play the same. I don't know how it works. The same licensed one for one Xbox account split into different multiple accounts. It must be a bloody nightmare. The engineers must be genius.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
I wonder if we will
thought this for years.
Well, it's something that's going to be in plan, but I
Because
wonder if we're
game
also going
share,
to see less
obviously,
accounts as well.
Everyone thinks if you get rid of game share, isn't not an. I've had people tell me that the Game Pass game share is like a. It's not an official. It is on the Xbox site, but it's not. You have to go looking for it. It's not. And they will probably get rid of game share eventually. I'm not convinced this is the plan to wipe it out, but it will, in a sense, it will cut numbers down of game sharers because it could only be the main account holder that game shares the actual Game Pass. Not the other 4 accounts can't share it. So technically,
the main account has control. The main account will have control.
Technically, Friendly Press is right to a degree. It could be right completely. It might be the master plan.
The way we're talking about here, it almost sounds like parent or child accounts. That sounds like how they're implementing it. Is the main account is going to have the Game Pass family. Sounds like will be the parent account, but it'll be whatever, do whatever you want on your account, but you'll be under mine. And if I tell you to do one, you're out of the pass, and then you're leaving that person high and dry.
It also leaves that question: what if you're in Game Pass or your account was associated with an account, and you're in an online multiplayer game playing a Game Pass game, and you're naughty and you get banned or something? How does that affect the main account holder? It's crap like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it would affect anything. I don't know.
Not only that, but the other thing I'm not sure if they've thought about, but what if the account that's joining the family account already has Game Pass Ultimate? Would they have to wait for their Game Pass Ultimate to run out before they can join the family? Or when they join it, is that just going to convert into time for the main account?
Yeah, I think it'll only affect the actual main account. It's whoever's taken out the plan. I think that's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to affect. It's their game time that's going to be converted, and then they're going to like Netflix. You give them the access username or code or whatever it's going to be. Then you're going to have your own profile, and like Netflix and that Amazon and Disney, you're going to have everything separate. So access all to the same content, watch it at the same time on multiple things, but it's your own. So that's how I can see it going.
Yeah.
But yeah. If the host of the thing gets banned, then everyone's fucked. Anime, what's your thoughts? Is it something you would use? Is it something you think's good? Do you think game share is going to stop by doing this?
I'm not too sure. Personally, I haven't formed a massive opinion on this. It's one of those of where, again, you'll have to wait and see. But I think with it, at the moment, I think it's just seeing what news comes out. Obviously we know it's rolling out at to say that it's the price of 2. In fact, it's less than the price of 2.
And you get 5.
And you get 5.
4.
No, it's 5 yourself and then 4 others. So you've technically getting 5. It's 5. Yeah, it is. It does kind of doesn't fully make it clear when it says you can share with 4 others. It's you are that 5th, so you're the main account holder. You have it, and you can then share up to 4 friends and family.
Fair.
Problem with that is how many groups of friends are going to end up just buying it for other people? I mean, me and you, Shadow, we've already talked about it,
Yeah,
haven't we?
yeah.
It could just like you could end up with almost an entire raid team using one account.
Yeah. It's interesting how it's going to, it's something we're never going to know unless some information leaks or anything like that. How it actually all works on the back end,
Well,
how's it for developers and publishers of these games? How, if one account, say, you've got the families and friends account, everybody plays the same game the same day. Does that mean the developer's getting like 5 cuts, or is it just the one because it's under the one account? So it's interesting how it's going to work. So obviously, they're going to have done something to make it, for developers to get on board, because they can't just put developers' games on there that aren't first party and just say everyone's sharing it. I'd dread to think of the paperwork and the threads crossing and how it all works out. I'd hate to know how it works.
Yeah,
I think they've been working on this for a couple of years. I'd say easy.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
probably got
definitely.
deals wrote up. They have. They probably got deals wrote up as to when this is rolled out. Probably developers that are in the program already probably get a bonus or something. The problem is though, you hear all these rumours about, because I've heard developers where they reckon nearly every deal is different, gets cut. Some of them just get paid on download. Some of them get paid just one flat upfront fee. Some get paid. It's all different. So
Yeah.
and this just makes it even more different deals. So yeah, it must be complex on the back end now as well. How all this shit works. You know what I mean?
Microsoft are the ones that have got the money to do it, but Nintendo do it. Don't they? Nintendo you can get a family pass thing and have multiple users, so they obviously figured it out. But I would say most of their games they make themselves anyway. But yeah. What about you, Shadow Maul? Is it something that'd be useful for you? Could you see maybe a reduced plan instead of having 5 people? You could have a 3-person.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, is that they should just keep the Game Pass Ultimate as it is, just for yourself, Then there's, let's say, 3-person. So let's say, for instance, me, Anime Razza, and I don't know, UBMG, we decide fuck it, and let's say Anime Razza's the host of it, that'd be more of an option for those, because some people may not want to pay the $25, $24.99, for 5 people, but only use 3 of the slots in total, and they just got 2 slots left over, and just like, well, what do we do with these other 2 slots? Do we just invite a random person from our friends list, or what?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting how it's going to work,
So,
and again, we've got. Sorry, go on.
And I guess the other thing that all we have to wait for really is for them to actually release it, and then the data miners tell us how it's done.
Well, yeah, we'll get the information that way. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to, sorry, Razza, what was you going to say?
I was going to say, I mean, it's going to be strange because, like, I'm game sharing with my partner. Like,
So am I.
yeah, I'm game sharing with my partner. I mean, obviously, I play Destiny with you guys. Like, right now, my partner is literally the other side of the room playing the new Disney game that got released today.
Ew.
Disney's cool.
Yeah, Disney is cool. It's that one that's basically like going back to Nintendo here. Yeah. It's like what is it, Valley? Harvest Moon, I think it was. Is it Harvest Moon? That was the big thing in 2020.
Why, yeah.
But the thing with the game share is, though, you both can't play the same game at the same time. It's got its disadvantages, hasn't it? You both can't play the same game and you're on game share.
That sounds like a Steam thing there, where if you've got your friend's account on your system, on your PC, and they authorize you to be able to use their library. If I'm sat there, because I used to do it with my sister's other half, and I used to boot up a game, and and I'd sit on it for a bit, and then he decided he'd want to go on another game, and and a notification would pop up, saying you've got 10 minutes before we kick you. It's like, are Xbox to do the same thing, or are they just going to allow people free reign to all the bloody games on Game Pass?
Can I just mention quickly that what you said, BMG, is I was going to say, well, about that from the past. I was going to say that basically the whole thing with playing the same game, you can. Me and my partner, we've played ESO together previously.
You can do it, right? Okay.
So
So
you
I was
can do
under
it.
the impression you couldn't.
Yeah,
both play the same game at the same time.
That's doing the game share way, where your account is on her Xbox, so your home Xbox is on her Xbox. I'm doing the same with my partner. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my account and my home Xbox is on her Xbox. But the problem with that is if, say, we lose internet, she can still use her Xbox, but mine's just rendered completely useless. And
right.
Oh, you can just, if you've still got mobile, see, I've done this. If you've got mobile data, you can hotspot it. Hotspot it to your console.
Oh, you can do that with the consoles, can you?
yeah,
Yeah, I've done it.
I never knew you could do that.
your Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone. You
Oh
can
yeah,
just
why? Yeah.
Wi-Fi in it.
I didn't think of that.
Let's say if you're playing a game like Destiny, I don't know how the data is going to go. But if you're just playing like campaign games and pass games, you're fine. It just needs to know there's a connection.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, because it's got to ping the system. Yeah, I didn't realise that. Looking at time, we're a bit conscious about time now, so we'll just get past these two last bit of things quickly, and then we can wrap up this evening.
Just real quick, Dave. This is a smaller version of that. This is literally runs on the mobile networks, and that gives me Wi-Fi wherever I go.
Oh, no.
Oh, all right, cool. That's all right. And what does that cut? Is it a monthly thing you do?
So that's actually an add-on on my internet package, smart Wi-Fi, and they give me 40 gigs a month on it. It's supposed to only give me 2, but I get 40 gigs a month, and if the internet drops out, then I contact my ISP and they go, yeah, there's 250 gig on that. Just turn it on and hook it up.
Right, okay, that's good.
And
That's good to know.
and because it's quite literally essentially just a mobile phone without a screen,
yeah,
mobile
yeah.
battery in there, and the good old Nokia batteries, and it's just one of them in it with a SIM card.
That's good to know. It's good to know. So Friendly Pester says him and his wife my wife uses my home box and I play on another box in the same house. We've never had any issues at all. That's good to know. Because it's not something I've used this game share. I've always for me it was just easy. I've got my console. The kids have got their consoles. I just shove Game Pass on all of them, and we all do our own thing.
And you gift games to people as well.
Yeah. See you later, Friendly Pest. Thanks for stopping by. It's
See you
great to
later.
see you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And spend responsibly.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Also,
yes.
if you win the jackpot, send it to the UK.
So we'll wrap up these last two little bits. It's pretty much just that, this Friday, 9th of September, it's the Disney Marvel Games Showcase, because it's D23 weekend.
Probably
as
just
they do
gonna-
every year.
I'm just gonna say it's probably just gonna be another useless, crappy game like the last one.
No. Disney Marvel haven't done a showcase thing in a long time. And I mean
yeah,
a
but-
very long time, because obviously now they license all their games out. They don't do it in house anymore. Games are licensed out, but now they've kind of, they care more and more about the licenses of your Star Wars, your Marvel, your Disney stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like all the information they've got is pretty much updates on games and new game reveals. So you find a lot of these licenses, like Sony have Spider-Man, they have Wolverine. Are we going to see Spider-Man 2? Are we going to see any Wolverine, or is that exclusive to Sony's shows? Have they got the right to show that, or do they have to show it here Indiana Jones, that's being made by Bethesda. Is that gonna be shown at their Xbox's next show, or are we gonna get any gameplay or information on Friday? It's interesting to think, are they going to be able to show these things like the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I think it's called. We're going to see some of these updates. What sort of brand new games are we going to see? Are we going to hear that they've got their own game studios again? They've started some of them up again with the billions they keep making. Anyway, what do you think we're going to see at the Disney Marvel Game Showcase? Anything interesting? What would you like to see?
I would like to see a lot. I want to see, I want to see more about the Star Wars stuff. I want to see more to do with this new game and see where they're going next. With
which new game?
I don't know what it's called. It literally got released today.
Star Wars?
No, Disney's itself.
You're about the one that your other ass playing.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
I thought you said the new Star Wars game.
No, I went on to the next point.
All right. Sorry, mate.
Sorry for the confusion. I went on to the next point of just like I would like to see more see where that's going to go, because with it being entirely Disney, I would like to see more like Star Wars characters, because they've got little different worlds in it, little pocket dimensions for the different characters, like Moana and stuff like that. I would like to see them introduce all their creative properties into it and make it a huge game, because I'm actually considering playing it myself.
I'll stick to my ray trace game.
What about you, Stubz? What are you expecting to see from the showcase? Anything new? Is there something you want to see, or any idea what might show up? Anything that's already been made, like from Bethesda, a bit of Indiana Jones, something like that? Or the Amy Hennig game?
Right.
You're not.
Won't see any PlayStation games at this event at all. They wouldn't give it to Marvel. They wouldn't. Sony got Wolverine and Spider-Man, and Disney wouldn't even. No. I don't think you'd see that. You may see. I don't know, because Xbox might want to save it for their own showcase. You may see a hint of Indiana Jones. But it's a hard one. I would honestly think Xbox would try and keep that for themselves, because that's a pretty big deal. So apart from that, I'm not really into this Disney stuff, so I don't know what to say, to be honest.
No, that's because Amy Hennig's working on a Star Wars title, isn't she? That's what her studio's working on at the moment. There's a chance we might get a teaser from that, maybe.
Yeah.
We won't be getting Knights of the Old Republic, that's for sure.
Oh, mate, if it is PlayStation, is it coming to PlayStation only?
No, it's Amy Hennig. She started her own studio, didn't she? Because she had. I don't think she would do anything exclusive for PlayStation, because they had the Lovers
Haven.
Yeah, no, not Haven,
I'm getting it mixed up.
Yeah, Amy Hennig was the one of the lead writers for Naughty Dog on the Uncharted series and the Uncharted 4.
That could potentially be there. That could be.
Yeah, I can see. So I could probably see something from Amy Hennig being there, even if it's a teaser. I don't think there's anything concrete made yet.
You're building up all this hype, BMJ, and you'll get a 20-minute. Yeah, for mobile games, and it closes.
Yeah,
that would be a shitter, wouldn't it?
Well, that sounds about right.
I can't see it.
I
can't see it happening.
Has anyone watched the new Winnie the Pooh trailer?
What? The one that looks like Winnie the Pooh's become a killer?
No, it is. It's Winnie the Pooh. It is actually Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin. Watch the trailer. Because Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and all that, it's now in public domain. Yeah. So anybody can do anything. And it's actual Winnie the Pooh. Christopher Robin's abandoned them. So he's gone back and they've gone psycho. No, they are. He's called Christopher Robin. The guy, the cat, the line. Yeah.
But
I'm
Winnie the
actually
Pooh,
really-
Eeyore. You've got Eeyore in a
I know.
grave. Eeyore's dead and
Yeah,
he's got the name Eeyore.
Well, that
I
got
have
brutal
heard, though.
pretty quick.
It is.
There was
It's
some
actually,
there was some interviews
that
about the
escalated
names of the
very quickly.
characters, and in the interviews he wouldn't confirm what the characters were really called.
no. If you watch the trailer, there's the actual trailer. It's Winnie the Pooh, Piglet. Eeyore's dead because you see his grave saying "Rest in peace, Eeyore." And Christopher Robin's there with his girlfriend. He's like, "Been away for
I
so
don't
long."
understand how Disney didn't protect that.
It's the age,
Well, I
isn't
was
it? Because yeah, but it's before.
But you can still take stuff. You can still
Yeah,
put it back in.
It's like Pinocchio. Pinocchio's that life of
Mickey
Lies
Mouse
of
is coming
P.
up soon, isn't it? The original look of Mickey Mouse.
Oh, they'll fight. They'll fight. Yeah, but it's not the Mickey Mouse that you use now. It's the original with the long ears. So it's like the rabbit Mickey Mouse type thing.
Yeah, they still
Okay.
all want to lose it though.
No,
Can't
no, they
believe
won't.
they've let
They'll
Winnie the
fight.
Pooh go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Winnie the Pooh's back from the 30s, the 40s.
Yeah,
He's
it's
one
old.
of the first Disney. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh's very old. The old fart. I'm surprised Winnie the Pooh hasn't lost all his hair and ended up looking like BMG.
Anyway, what about you, Shadowmore? What are you expecting anything exciting from this event, or do you think it's just going to be a waste of time?
The only thing I
Give me
could
some
really
exciting.
The,
Give
the
me
only
some
thing I
exciting.
could
Come on,
really
you
think
say.
of is they maybe do an announcement about Star Wars, because EA, to be honest with you, are fucking useless. They just kept cancelling projects, they kept cancelling Star Wars games. And I think, to be honest, Disney got sick and tired of all the cancellations, and EA costed them money and they said, right, well, you lot can fuck off, here's your contract. You know, ripped it up, don't fuck off. Just said, right,
Nope.
anyone go and do it. Anyone
The
go
only
make a
time-
game.
No,
I think-
Dis-
Who was it?
Disney
I think it
stepped
was.
in.
I think Ubisoft is supposed to be making a looter shooter style game for Star Wars.
yeah, they're working on a Star Wars game. Say it's Quantic Dreams, who's just been bought by NetEase. So I don't know where that's going to go. But no, the only time Disney stepped in with EA was with the debacle of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
With
which
the loot
obviously-
boxes.
Yeah, they forced them to make changes.
Yeah.
But no, the EA had a 7-year contract. Was it a 10-year contract? I can't remember
I'm
the
not
top of my
sure.
head. Which ends next year. But now the games that are being announced that now got licensed out to other people on the Star Wars and whatever other was in the contract, now they can make games. But I don't think anything can come out until that contract finishes early next year. I think
Yeah.
it's April next
See, I
year.
think what it is, I think what the contract is, a lot of people when it came out said that EA ain't allowed to make games. Or I think what it is EA can still make games even after the contract if they sign a new one. I think EA just had exclusive on Star Wars properties.
Yeah.
I think
Exclusive.
Disney now want multiple developers to make multiple Disney IP. I think games. I think they put
Yeah.
a stop to that basically. Anyone who wants to pose an idea to them of a game. I think.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
oth-
yeah,
oth-
you're right,
otherwise, from the showcase, I think if there's nothing Star Wars announced, then I think it's just going to be a complete an utter waste of probably an hour, 2 hours.
Well, what about the Marvel side? You've got Marvel as well. It's Disney and Marvel, so you've got both. What about from the Marvel side? Can we see a bit more of Midnight Suns, maybe? Maybe get a bit more information on that.
This is the thing, dude. The only Marvel game I really played was that last one that was an absolute bag of shit. I sat and played and I thought, parts of it were alright, but then as soon as you complete it and you get into the multiplayer side of it, it's just fucking god awful. I can't really see myself playing many Marvel games, to be honest, because I'd rather that stayed on the big screen.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, the Disney Marvel Showcase is this Friday at 9 p.m. BST. So we won't be live reacting or anything like that. Our next show will have some more information to talk about and see what they release there.
Probably
Now
about 2
coming
weeks'
on
time.
to what have been the best topic, the best thing of all, the Ubisoft Forward event this Saturday at 8 p.m. BST.
Would you like me to pull up the trailer for it?
Oh, go on then. Yeah, let's have the trailer. Let's watch the trailer, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think audio's good. People have to tell me if the audio's not there. 'Cause,
Right.
I mean, I've cranked it up, but anyway.
Is it trailer?
There it is. I was looking for it. Oh, unmute it. And that back. Come on, YouTube. Thank you.
Well, I can't hear anything. Don't matter. Just,
Audio.
Right.
I'm gonna pause
Anyway, it's
up.
all right. It's all right. So yeah, so we got the Ubisoft Forward event, which it's obviously we've got some other games come to it: Mario, Rabbids, Skull and Bones, and a couple of others. But obviously, the main thing that they have been pushing is the Assassin's Creed because it's the 15-year anniversary. There are
Jeez, already.
Yeah, we already know the leaks of Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's been leaked and then officially announced. Pretty much a game going back to the basics. It's going to be set in one big city, 4 zones. There's going to be like Assassin's Creed 1. We had a bit of in between. It's going to be like that. Your stealth's more stealthy. Your rooftop hiding points. Your parkour's going to be on par with Unity, from I believe, as well as the crowds as well, because Unity did it better than any of the other games. And there's also the rumor of Assassin's Creed remake of the original that may be teased at this event. So I'm very much looking forward to it. The Assassin's Creed stuff. Mario and Rabbids, Skull and Bones just really don't interest me at all. If I'm honest. But it's the Assassin's Creed that I'm there for. What about you guys? What do you think about the news that got officially announced? New Assassin's Creed game.
I haven't really played Assassin's Creed since Ezio, which is the second one. So it doesn't bother me. All I've heard these last few games is just the bugs and the crashes and the absolute chaos that's been going on with it. Mario, well, that can stay on fucking Nintendo. Rabbids can stay on the fucking PSP where it belongs. But the only thing I'm really looking forward to that, if I'm honest, is that Skull and Bones. It looks more of a realistic looking version of Sea of Thieves. Because I love Sea of Thieves. I really did enjoy it, but it looks a bit more hectic and like there's a lot more going on with it. It looks like a bit more of a complicated game than Sea of Thieves. So I'm more looking forward to Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
The Skull and Bones reminded me, just from what I saw there, was more of Black Flag.
That's what it's based on.
So I've been told.
That was when Black Flag came out. Obviously, a lot of people were raving about the ship, the warfare. Attacking other ships and then taking over. That is what Skull and Bones is based on. Originally, was based on when it was meant to come out about 7 years ago, and then it just got into development hell. What we're seeing now is pretty much different to what was originally shown. It's still the premise that that's what it's based off. It's it's about 5 years too late, but it's a live service game. There is a in-depth gameplay because they had a Skull and Bones showcase, and it put me off it more than anything else. I was excited for the game originally because I thought I enjoyed that side of the game, but it really put me off. What about you, Anime Razza? What are you looking forward to? And don't slag off Assassin's Creed like Shadow Mall's done, because we know it's the superior IP of Ubisoft more than anything else.
I mean, I'll admit, like, I've played all my bit of Assassin's Creed. I mean, it was the game that brought me into gaming, was Assassin's Creed 2. Can we just say that I didn't like 3? I loved Black Flag. Brotherhood was amazing. Revelations, I was a bit. I'll admit I'm very much. And then I didn't play Unity. I haven't played Rogue because by that point I'd kind of come away from the Assassin's Creed. I am wanting to go back to them. I mean, they are in my list of games to play again. So there is a lot for me to that I am looking forward to Assassin's Creed, especially Mirage. I think that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the main character Basim from the new game Mirage. He's actually a character from Valhalla. So when you start playing it, obviously we don't know how it's going to play, how it's going to introduce him in the game, but if you've played Valhalla, you will recognize the character. You know, yeah, Stubz,
There we
sleep.
go.
So here we go, Stubz. We know you are a big Assassin's Creed fan. You're like probably bigger fan than I am. You know, so what are you most excited for of the news that's come out about the Ubisoft Forward event coming this Saturday at 9 p.m. BST? 8 p.m. BST, sorry.
Excitement. I
Yeah.
ain't even bothered. Now, interested.
He's saying this on air, but he's a big fan of Assassin's Creed. Loves it, breathes it.
I'm not interested in Ubisoft whatsoever.
The only other
Nothing,
thing,
no?
the only
Any
other
surprises you could be expecting?
Make a good game.
What if there's a Splinter Cell surprise or something like that? You know,
I don't like that either.
Do you know?
The only other leak from Ubisoft is the Division Heartland.
Yes, that's the one.
Which is
tell us about that, Chadamol.
That is a Tarkov-like PvPvE mode.
Well, welcome to Gambit the game.
Yeah, it's a standalone game, isn't it? It's standalone.
I believe so.
Division Heartland. Yeah, it's an actual I think it's like a battle royale.
It was supposed to be a battle royale, but obviously they were like 3 or 4 years too late to the scene with that. They originally did scrap it, but by the looks of it, they've just completely just redone it and just changed what they were going for. And instead, they go, by the looks of it, trying to go for a Tarkov style thing. However, it does look like from this timeline, it is continuing on from the Division 2. So that might be interesting. Because I did quite enjoy the Division 2.
What, like a sequel to it, or like maybe some of the that's running like in the same sort of timeline, but
so from
separate.
what I've been reading from this article I've got here, some of the original characters from the Division 1 are coming back in this game. So it sounds like this may well be set between Division 1 and Division 2. The timeline of it.
And do it that way. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Interesting.
Because we can see 3 characters here, so I don't exactly know who they are. But this bitch here in the bottom right, she looks like the character from, well, one of the characters from Division 2.
Yeah, nice way to describe her. What deal? Right,
you know
well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up and we'll call it a night because we're just about at the 2-hour mark. So we'll, thanks for everyone for joining us this evening. Thanks to an amazing panel again, some great topics and conversations.
My conversation on Ubisoft was fucking incredible.
Yeah, couldn't put it better. Stubz loves Assassin's Creed. That's all we need to know. Don't
Absolutely
listen if he says
brilliant.
anything else. Oh yes. But yeah, our next show is going to be on I think it's the 21st. Is it the 21st? I think our next one.
2 weeks from now, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks today.
19th.
19th, sorry. Monday the 19th at 9 p.m. BST again. And you'll catch us for Anime Razza. Do you want to tell us where we can all find you?
Find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Anime Razza.
Find me on twitter.com.
You can also find me, here on YouTube at youtube.com/C/Anime Razza.
Channel, where can we find you?
Twitch. Twitter.
Twitch.com.
Yeah. .com. Yeah.
Twitch.tv.
Yeah, twitch.tv. That's shadow_Maul. You find me in the same place on Twitter. Well, you can find me in the Stasis chat Discord. Links down below. Discord.io/Stasis chat.
Did well to remember that.
Yeah, and we're all in there every day chatting. So you guys want to join in and ask us questions? Yeah, we're all there all day, every day, keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. And Stubz, where can we find you on your many adventures?
www.twitter.com/StubbsGaming.
Where can we find you? Twitter.com.
At Stubz on Twitter. As Ryan setting a trend. YouTube.com/StubbsGaming. And you've got enough subscribers, Ryan, to get a better custom. You've got over 100 subs, haven't you?
Yes.
Go in your settings and apply custom URL. You'll be able to get Anime Razza. So that would be a lot easier for people. 100 subscribers and you get a custom URL.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also you can find me at this Wednesday, 9 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. EST. I have Luke Steele on. We're going to be talking about the CMA, Microsoft Activision Blizzard. There's been a bit of controversy around it, but we're going to get to the facts and not what the internet is saying, and a lot of it's made up. But it'll be fun because he's an actual expert. He's an mergers and acquisitions lawyer. It's his proper job. Going to talk about that and many other things. And I'll be with Midweek Gaming Crew. That's Cerebral Paul, Animated Evil, Removal Sanity, and myself. I'll back. And the week after, it's the second anniversary of Midweek Gaming.
Oh. Something special planned for the anniversary? No.
Not really.
This is chat takeover.
No. No, nothing special, no.
And
no.
Nothing special. I've got Mr. Tucci should be on if he's free. But no, there, and if you want to catch the podcast on any of my podcasts, Midweek Gaming is also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of them basically. Same with the Stubzcast. Interview people. I'm going to bring that back and start interviewing people again. And then there's also Plastic Platforms every 2 weeks, and that is because I podcast every Monday now. And this Monday I've got Plastic Platforms with Centurion. And the Monday after I've got Stasis Chat. Then the Monday after, and so on. Every Monday I podcast.
And so on and so forth.
And also, people can also check out Stasis Chat. We're currently on Spotify. Once we get approved for Apple Podcasts, we will be everywhere. I'll be submitting it to Amazon Music, Audible, everywhere. Once we'll be on everywhere then. Just you need to get approved for Apple. A lot of sites want you to be part of Apple. Start with. Thanks for having me on again.
BMG, where can we find you?
You'll find me at Boldman Gamer on Twitter. I won't just give you twitter.com. I'll actually give you my handle. At Boldman Gamer on Twitter, you'll find me. Boldman Gamer on Xbox. Boldman Gamer 86 on PlayStation. You'll also find me here on Stasis Chat. And the Twitter is at Stasis Chat as well. You can reach us there as well as our Discord.
At Stasis Chat. What website?
Stasis Chat. That would be twitter.com.
that would be https://www.
We always sleep. Me no sleepy sleep. Me no thinky think.
You'll also find me, I say, as well as this show, I'll be tomorrow night. It'll be XBL Party Podcast. Please join us there at 8 p.m. BST. Again, just good chatting with some good guys. It's always good conversations, good laugh. Join us there over at the XBL YouTube. You'll also find me Roundtable Gaming. We haven't set a date yet. Stubz will probably tell us about a day or so before when that will be. But
I'm trying to sort it out.
We'll get there. It's more of we get a feel as things go along. That Stubz, myself.
I'm trying to get a particular guest. He's quite busy this month.
Yes, and a particular guest announced closer to the time what's arranged and sorted. Yeah. But other than that, that's me. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Thank you for the panel. And that's all right. Catch you all later, guys.
Yeah, remember everyone, like, share, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, get it on. Get clicking it. We're watching. We're watching. All right, well, that's going to be a bye from me. Bye.
Bye.
Shared my evidence you once really cared. I'm reaching for a hand.